Hello, welcome back to Shittywebcomics Weekly, brought to you by our Subscribe Star backers who are helping us be explorers in the furthest reaches of
They're
experience.
joining us in the exploration of the furthest reaches of human experience.
They get to help us, and in turn, we are helping them.
But we're definitely helping them more than they're helping us.
But also, if you want to find out the furthest reaches of experience, only $5 a month on our Subscribe Star, and you can see into the mind of God. And speaking of which, we're going back to Sinfest because the jwoke era of Sinfest has gone so incredibly jwoke that every
Starting to
single
look like
comic,
a glow up. It's looped back around to looking like a glow up again.
yes, it's gone back and forth many times. In fact, going from here, well, here's the latest comic, actually, November 29th. So whenever you see this, it's going to be way after that. But it's Russell Brand is Dionysus in Get Him to the Greek, and it's him, like, drinking, snorting coke and all that shit. Then You're Getting Me Too'd, and in the last one, he's just goes Christ is King. So it's, like, gone so J-woke that he's now gone to controlled opposition woke, which might be like the final level,
The last step.
the ultimate thing. It's kind of Zyber basted. But yeah, this is kind of the only one that isn't about Jews. All of the rest of the comics for the past several months, maybe the entire year, has basically been about Jews. And we followed the whole track because it came originally, like 10 years ago, he was radical feminist, then he went TERF, and the next logical step is anti-Semitic.
Yeah, to just straight up become a poltard Nazi.
Yeah. And in fact, here, some other recent ones, this Mount Olympus 43. So he's been doing at least almost 50 strips so far, have been about about Tatsuya Ishida going full Retivern, whatever the fuck, about ancient Rome and Greece. I think it's both. It's both Rome and Greece at the same time, or something. But it's
primarily Rome. Primarily Greece. It's the fucking Mount Olympus or whatever the fuck.
Well, yeah, it says Mount Olympus. That's Greece, but then they're all the Romans and wearing Roman helmets. Wearing Roman war helmets, and I don't mean having cocks over their faces. But here, it just in this one from November 26th, Mount Olympus, number 43. It's just escort them out. And the guy says, traitor to the Romans, I guess. You betray your oath and your people
the soldier,
to serve
basically.
a Jew.
It's to the soldier. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
not super versed on like all the ancient histories.
Yeah, if this is this something that happened, I guess.
I watched the Rome minis. I watched the Rome miniseries.
Obviously, Tatsuya is basically saying he's comparing modern day to this strip, essentially, is that the America has been taken over. Maybe Tatsuya watched that fucking Transmetropolitan fucking movie that Coppola just put out this year, and it turned it into a fucking laughingstock. But in that, it's the United States of America is called like the new Rome, Neo-Rome, new Neo-Rome 2, or whatever the fuck.
Neo-Rome 2.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, so this guy in the strip says, you betray your oath and your people to serve a Jew. And the Roman guard just goes, I have to feed my kids. Does he? Do you? But also, similarly, is the same guy, and I do follow him. I was like, I follow this guy, don't I? I do. He posted, he quote tweeted Tatsuya Ishida, who has me blocked. But Tatsuya Ishida posts his strips to Twitter. And here's the one from November 20th. Rise, sons of... It's Zeus. Rise, sons of Olympus. Rise and defeat the foreign enemy in your midst. Rise to your people and your future. And then, like, goofy... Like, he draws nutty people with like one large eye or one fucking detailed eye and one dot eye, basically. But he's holding like a slow sign and says, "But what if I lose my job?" He's, I guess, supposed to represent woke retardation or something. But this guy, follow apathetic crow.
Well, he really just represents the sheeple.
Yes, people. You mean
sheep.
But he says, or quote tweeting, he says, "Oh good, we're back to shaming normal people for not being political spurgs. Just quit your job, bro, if we all stood up." Which is a good point. And also,
it's a good point, but also at the same time, a lot of people are like that. It's like, I can't risk my fucking low-wage, shitty, wagey job. Everyone, both sides are wrong on this one.
You're both terrible, but he replies to himself saying, like Tim Pool telling people just boycott sports, athletes should just stop until they remove the trans people, as if risking losing your position and scholarship opportunities at 17 to make a gay political statement that won't matter. I replied saying, especially when guys like him are already rich, telling people who aren't rich, dude, just throw away your livelihood and permanent reputation. And he replies saying, I'm homeless, but at least I stood for something. At least I'm not gnomeless. Going further back, in fact, just the day before, some kind of angel, sort of, just floating up, saying, Lord Zeus, trouble in the kingdom. There's a plot against you. They defile your statues, slander your name. They call you womanizer, adulterer, rapist. They even call you a furry. Which is, I kind of like this one because, like, oh, there's an actual punchline in this. It's like a joke. I remember
an actual punchline in a Sinfest comic. That's a novelty.
I do remember laughter. And then here is, like, another, a couple days before. And now, technically, that one was about Jews. The one, all of them before were about Jews. Even if you don't see one. But this shows, like, what the whole arc of this Mount Olympus series of comics in Sinfest is about. What happened to the Calvin-looking guy or the pig guy? Where are those people? I haven't seen them in Sinfest in a pretty long time.
There's also the cute angel dude.
Yeah, that's right. You think he could show up here? But he was Christian, so I don't know. Guess this doesn't really.
He's Christian, so definitely not.
If he shows up again, is he going to be some kind of like Zion defender? Is he going to be marking out for the Uden?
He should be. He better be.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I can't believe I'm actually looking forward to Sinfest. But there's riots, and these don't look like Romans or Greeks necessarily who are looting stuff in these riots and burning down buildings. What does this represent? But
burning, looting, and murdering.
The one of the guards, perhaps the Centurion Buford C. Augustus here, goes, by the beard of Zeus, dispatch requesting backup, mass rioting in progress. And then request denied, stand down, do not engage. And the guard goes, stand down, they're burning the city. And it cuts to a Jew on a computer. The ancient Rome computer. It should be like a stone computer, like the
he's also got the guy has a
caveman boomer meme.
The guy has a radio too, and it's like, where do you get that?
The schizoid fucking clash of like eras and shit is kind of great. But in the last panel, it's a Jew replying over the headset at these computers, saying orders from above, as he's like, heh. But, so, and it's funny because this is a very timely reference, of course, to the wonderful, delightful classic era. Those recent, I mean, not wonderful, but those recent riots in Ferguson, that happened earlier this year in 2024.
Earlier this month.
Yeah, I think it was maybe last month even. I don't know.
Remember when that first happened and he made a comic about it immediately? Oh, neither do I.
No, he did, but it was like, and you see, men are the problem. And he fucking represented it as like standing up against the patriarchy. When the actual Ferguson riots happened, He portrayed the rioters as the heroes. Now, not only are they not the heroes, but they are being secretly controlled by this guy with a small hat and a kind of a pointy nose.
People, though. The exact same people who was defending, now he's no longer defending.
Yeah, but also at the same time naming them, which I have to admit, it's like just going right out and saying this stuff. I almost feel like if I'm going to say it out loud, what's happening here, it's like, oh, our channel's taken down for hate speech again. Gee. But if you want to actually, I would actually almost recommend people read Sinfest now if you want to keep up with this. Because we're probably not going to talk too much more about Sinfest. We may not even be able to at this rate. But at the same time, it is legitimately interesting, although it's still kind of clunky and really blatant and obvious on the nose, if you will. But that element does actually still kind of make it more entertaining than it ever has been before. So, as usual, I forgot the whole outro patter. It's like, what's the forced catchphrase for the ending? Is it like, share, unshare?
Webcomics is the only part I know.
Yeah, something. Well, it
definitely on our links to see into the future or something.
Yeah, it involves donating to our Subscribe Star. If you want to be as woke as Tatsuya Ishida.
Well, I'm going to try as hard on this outro as Tatsuya Ishida does on his comics. Not at all.
We're going to barely phone it in. No, but it is interesting how he changed stuff. Like, after we did episodes pointing out that he was still making colored comics in color. As GIF files, though, he actually started doing them as PNGs. And it's like, oh, what an interesting coincidence. And speaking of coincidence,
maybe in another 20 years he'll discover the JPEG.
but that would be a pure coincidence. Or maybe after we say this, just posting this. But whatever.
Yeah.
As usual, though.
Again, that would be following the pattern.
It fits the pattern. You know how it is with patterns and noticing patterns. But anyways, if you want to notice patterns, go notice your way over onto our Subscribe Star and pattern up $5. And for everyone else, of course, sure to listen to Shitty Webcomics.